This is TWiT.
Let's talk about Amazon a little bit. According to a story that came out this morning, The Verge had it and others had it. Amazon is reportedly working on a messaging app called Anytime. You know, obviously jumping on the ridiculous gap left by both Apple and Google. Apple's Messages, which is perfectly good, only works on Apple hardware. So that leaves out a lot of the world. And Google just can't seem to make up its mind on messaging in any reasonable way. They took SMS out of Hangouts for people except everybody using Google Fi. They have multiple messengers. No one knows what Google's strategy is. So Amazon, I think Amazon's smart. Amazon clearly sees an opportunity. This is Anytime is a all-in-one feature-rich service that could rival social networks with a focus on messaging, voice and video calls, photo sharing. You can apply filters. Of course, you couldn't release a photo sharing app without filters. And this is an interesting quote from this graphic. This came from AFTV News. Everyone's on it. Reach all your friends just using their name. No numbers needed. I'm trying to read the tea leaves here between the lines because what I'd love to see Amazon do is release an SMS app that I could use for SMS messaging on an Android device. You're stuck, unfortunately, with Apple's Messages on iOS. And then they say they'll do it on desktop, Android, iOS, so you could use it everywhere. But if they don't use phone numbers, it sounds like they won't support SMS. What do you think? How could they do that? They will have default encryption, strong encryption built in. They'll have...
It is interesting that there has been no one successor in the text messaging and messaging space because it's been around really since the beginning of the popularity of the internet, right? Like if you look at just even instant messaging. And I would say that the closest contender right now is probably Facebook Messenger because it does eliminate that need for a specific phone number. You can look somebody up just by being friends with them.
They have to be on Facebook.
They have to be on Facebook, yes. But I think right now it is probably the leader that I've seen. Like WhatsApp has kind of died out a little bit, and some of the other ones that have been popular, like Line, and then there was Wicker, and there was all these different ones.
I think Amazon's looking at Line and WeChat in China because those are much more than just messaging. They're platforms. You can buy stuff. You can, you can. And I think Amazon is thinking, I mean, obviously Amazon's interest in this is that you could shop on it. So I think they're going to try to create a WeChat clone.
But you've got to get in there first, right? So like the way that you get in with Apple users is that people have iPhones. And we already talked in this episode about how successful the iPhone has been from a sales point of view. And if you have people who are signed up to Facebook, well, then you have this automatic messaging system included. So, but what's going to be the way to get those Amazon users to start adopting this new app? I mean, it's not going to be just having an Amazon account, right? Because a lot of people don't use it on their mobile device or they're not thinking about it as a communication tool. Whereas with an iPhone and Facebook, you're already thinking about it as a communication tool. So what's going to be their inroad? What's going to be their hook?
Yeah, I mean, Amazon does have quite a bit of a social graph. Like, they haven't really done much with it.
What if you could call Echoes with it?
Yeah, that could be a thing. Yeah.
What if you could use your Echo to message? That would be nice.
That would be super cool.
Wasn't that already announced that was coming out as a feature? Echo to Echo calls?
Echo to Echo is. But see, now I could have Anytime on my phone as my messaging app and message an Echo.
You could call somebody's Echo like it was their landline.
Also, in this cell window, new ways to hang out. Share your location. Okay, everybody does that. Listen to music. Order food together. Split a bill. Chat with businesses. Get super service on your terms. Make reservations. Check on your orders. Even shop. So that's a really interesting question, though, Jill. What would Amazon have to do to make this ubiquitous? And do they, first of all, do they need to make it ubiquitous? But second, what would they do to really improve the uptake of this? How do you get? You're not
going to get a mass adoption of people installing a new app, I don't think.
Right.
Not in this
That's
way,
Apple's
right?
advantage because it is
gotta
just
be something.
Yeah, it's just on the phone.
It's got to be something that's already being used among Amazon.
If
people.
Apple would make a Android version of Messages, and they already have a desktop version on Mac, but make one for Windows, I think Messages could win this, right? They don't seem to want to.
It depends, I guess. Like in all of the way we're talking about this too, like if Amazon integrated something like this right into the Amazon shopping app, that could be interesting.
Because everybody's got that.
Everyone's got that. You can see your friends' wish lists and things like that. That would be a fundamental change in the way we handle Amazon shopping and what that app could do. But
and you make
that's
deals.
One potential thing.
You go out and you make deals with cell phone manufacturers and carriers to put that app on the phone. Make it the default app. Amazon's got the money; they could do that.
Well,
they've already done that with Amazon Shopping. A lot of phones come with Amazon. Even Ubuntu Linux comes with an Amazon app.
Yeah, but I think that Jill is right. There's not really a great catch. It's not fun and trendy like Snapchat is with great privacy and a breakdancing hot dog. It's not already installed, which is what Apple's going to be able to deal with, and so everyone's going to use that. And Amazon, primarily, people are thinking about, shopping and dealing with things. Like maybe if they gave you bonuses, you got Prime if you were using it. I don't know. They would have to have something that would make a difference in people's lives to be able to have that barrier to entry that I want to get it because I want this, right? Like if they gave me Game of Thrones for free, I would get it. Right? That would be it.
Well, you got to believe they're going to try stuff. I just feel like I would hate to bet against Amazon. They are seriously on a roll. Prime Day, which is a joke because it's not really deals. It's as good, it's like going to a Costco or a big box store to get deals. It's more the appearance of deals. But I
call it the Amazon garage sale.
Yeah, but Wirecutter does this analysis, and of several thousand deals, a handful were actually deals. Let me go to Wirecutter and show you the actual numbers. I mean, so it's not a really great place to get deals. However, it's very successful. They had it was the biggest Prime Day in its history, up 60% over the year before. Number one seller was the Echo.
Imagine that.
Yeah. I'd hate to bet against Amazon. I think if Amazon did I would look at it. I think there's a gap. Well, I just think there's a gap in messaging. Well, no, but I mean, okay, so here's the thing for me. The nice thing on Android is you can use other apps as your SMS app. You can say, I want FaceTime Messenger to be my SMS app. And SMS text messages through the carrier will come in there. So if I can make anytime my SMS app, I absolutely would. Especially if I could order stuff through that. And I think it's not going to be hard for them to convince at least Prime users to do that.
I think if any other company were to try to get into this space, it would be less interesting. But the idea that, Amazon could actually give you deals or maybe give you a little bonus to your Prime account or something like that. This seems more like a logistics play than just straight up messaging, right? If they ended up being the one place you go to talk to your friends, but also to order food and to share payments and do things like that, there's a lot of potential there. Like even food ordering right now is a really splintered market. Seamless and Grubhub did merge, so they're one thing right now, but they don't dominate everywhere in America. So you go different places, you'll have to use different services. Amazon is a logistics company at this point, right? They're tied directly into our lives just based on getting us stuff, and now they're getting us stuff faster and faster. And we have instant delivery now, so I could see this being like a really useful, a useful chat app that could tie into things. I don't know, better.
My argument is Amazon's reached critical mass.
Yeah.
And now it's almost that anything they launch is going to, because of the size of Amazon and the devoted Amazon customer, it's going to be a success out of the gate.
As long as it's not like crazy hardware like the Fire Phone or something, right? This is it.
Well, that's a good point. That was their last failure.
Yeah.
The Fire Phone, the Fire tablets, Amazon Music, Amazon Storage. Like they have some secret good stuff. Like Amazon Web Services is amazing and being used by everybody and is pulling in all kinds of money that we'll never know about because they don't break out the numbers in any of their reports. But I think the company's had lots of little weak flops, but they look like nothing. I wouldn't
call the Fire tablets flops, by the way. The Fire tablets, like as far as decent, cheap Android tablets, like they're actually far better than most of the other options out there. They're like the one successful Android tablet at this point, like the last ones remaining.